Messy Mondays. Your girl show me. Your girl Marley Marr. Messy Mondays.
Whenever you're ready. Are there any other topics before we get started that we should touch on?
I'm going to mention a networking event that I know that's coming up in April for women in business. So I'll mention that. And I'm also rest in peace to all the people who lost somebody in this bridge that fell in Miami.
This is unbelievable. You know somebody?
No, they haven't even been able to see who's really in there because they can't pick up the bridge yet. It's like outrageous. It's 4 tons, the bridge. I don't even understand why that bridge was so heavy in the first place. I'm not an architect. I don't know the real rules, but it didn't seem like it was a stable thing. The bridge just opened up 5 days ago prior to it happening.
Somebody had told me that it's not man-made. I think it was like kind of, what they did is they put it together first and then place the bridge as opposed to build the bridge.
A new style of construction to do things quicker. They bring the stuff already done to the location. And I think the reason that they were highlighting this is because it was supposedly one of the fastest turnaround times and that they were proud of it because they were able to do something to not like really interfere with traffic. But look what happened. Like, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Some shit from like a movie. Like, it's unbelievable. But,
wow.
I mean, yeah. But I don't know. Let me see. There was something else I may wanted to say. I know the networking event and nothing that can come to mind right now. But aside from that, so in fun news, as you know, I was moving and I'm finally done moving, Marley. So Yay. One of the things that happened in packing, it's crazy. That last day before you move, it's like insane in your house. It's like, it's disgusting. The floors are gross. Everything is crazy. So I left my podcasting headphones in my box and I heard my dog chewing on his chew toy for like 15 minutes. So I finally look at the floor. He's eating my headphones. So as you can see, I don't have this side. I only have one earpiece. He like ate the shit. So
thank God it's not on the cord though.
No, it wasn't the cord. So I literally have the ghettoest system right now with my but guess what, guys? I am not buying new headphones. Okay.
Determined to keep you're lucky they work.
Yeah, they do work. Shout out to this brand. But I'm just saying, it's just like, bro, I don't want to spend money on headphones right now.
That was not in the plan. That is not in the budget.
In the plans. Hell no.
Wow. Shout out to Bentley.
He is vicious with it. Like, and I heard him. I thought he was chewing on his bone. I was like, man, he's going in. He was eating my headphones. It's crazy.
I actually need to buy a new pair too, but that's hilarious.
Yeah, life of having a dog, man. No matter how trained they are, they always end up fucking something up when they get older. Like
they catch something. They always find something. Mm-hmm. Something you always you never thought would be like in the way, be a problem.
It's because you trust them too. They get good. They're so well behaved that you just trust them. Like it's like, no, my dog doesn't do that. And then it's like, yeah, they do.
It's like your child. Like when we have kids, you're gonna be like, my child don't do that. Mm-hmm. I don't know whose kid that is, but that's not my kid.
And he's a serial killer.
Turn around and child's the worst child ever. Problem child. Like that movie was.
Yeah. Throwback.
Yo, that little boy was the devil.
He was the
problem
devil.
child. Okay, I just want everyone to be devil little redhead boy. I'm sorry.
Back in the day when we used to watch the same movies over and over and over and over again
religiously without a problem. That was the movie. Like I could with my father. I remember my father would be like, God, I can't stand that kid. And my mom would be scared of the kid. And I used to love that movie. Oh, when he took the roaches and put the roaches out at the dish.
He was a really bad kid. For those of you who haven't seen that movie, that might be a good weekend you have nothing to do type of movie.
And you know what? I've actually yesterday I was at a dinner with some friends and they're younger than me. and we started talking about movies, and then I started naming movies like The Witches and Stepmom and the Witches of Eastwick, and they're like, I've never seen those. I almost had a heart attack. I'm becoming that old person who's like, what do you mean?
Wait, what was that movie with the 4 witches that was super good, like a teen movie at our time, and it was like that there was
The Craft.
The Craft.
Yo,
that was a great movie.
Amazing movie.
Yeah. That's a classic.
Amazing movie. And
that was totally like when we were young and like teenager movie. Like it really was.
Yes. That was like the perfect, perfect like teen girly movie, but that shit was hard.
It was really good. The girl with the black hair that she's like intense looking.
Yes.
Her character is always really good. I don't know, but she's really good at those kind of characters. Back in the 90s, she did a few movies that she was like that type of character.
She was the with Naomi Camp. No, is it Naomi Camp? No.
The girl from
Scream.
Scream. Yeah.
Naomi something. Nev Campbell.
Yeah.
Yes. Naomi Campbell's the supermodel.
That's black.
Yes.
Right. Nev Campbell's a white woman. Okay.
Nev Campbell used to be a big ass deal in the 90s.
Yeah, she was.
If
the
you
Scream
think about
franchise was huge.
Party of Five.
Yes.
And then the Scream franchise and The Craft was like, she's like the staple. Her, Alicia Silverstone were like the staple 90s girls.
Yeah, for sure.
And Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
Were like, you open a magazine, they were there. Like there was nothing you can do about that.
Very true.
They were in your face.
They were definitely holding it down in the game. They were like the most famous women at that time for sure.
And they're definitely dope women if you think about it.
Yeah, and I like all of their work. Like it was they were good.
Like I would
Rachel Green is always going to be Rachel Green. You know what I mean?
Yes. I would fan out though if I saw them. I'd be like, God, like damn.
Yeah.
Like that 90 nostalgia would really hit me.
I would really be impressed if I met Jennifer Aniston. Like really impressed. Like I've been watching her my whole life. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, that's a big deal.
And she has some good like girly movies also.
She does. I really love like the movie that she was with the wedding guy, and that she had to fake like picture perfect that she had to get a job. She had to act like she was married and whatever.
See, those are great like Sunday afternoon movies or like Saturday early morning movies that are just playing
while you have breakfast or something.
Yeah, the shit is just in the background. Like you've never seen it before.
For sure.
Like that running. So man, the 90s were awesome.
The 90s were awesome. Shout out to the 90s.
They don't make movies like that no more.
They don't.
We sound old, but they don't make them like that no more.
True.
Where's the romantic comedies? That's the kind of movies I'm into, and that's it.
Well, I haven't seen one in a while. I promise if I see a good one, I'll let you know.
Please.
However, I want to say episode 29 is on and popping right now, guys. That's a 2 and a 9. That is a lot of episodes. And we're about to be episode 30 very soon. So our accomplishments are really paying off. We really appreciate it. And shout out to everybody who is always contacting us to, help us build, move forward, give us information. You guys are still submitting, feedback and still telling us, yo, we really like when you guys do this. And that was awesome. Shout out to our last week's guest, Tracy. She was dope. She was so funny. She was
awesome.
Yeah, she's super cool chick. And one of the things I like the most about her, she's clearly talented, because I know if you guys listen, you can tell like she's seasoned and she's really good at captivating the audience, which I think is beautiful about her. And aside from that, she's such a cool chick. Like she's one of those girls that if you hit her up and you'd be like, hey, let's work on something, let's move forward, what do you recommend? She doesn't even hesitate. Like she's not like one of those girls at all. She's like she's an example of a woman that helps empower other women. And let's all do that. You know what I'm saying? Just like Super Cindy said when I went to the Women in Radio dinner a couple of weeks ago, she said, queens don't compete. Ooh. It just doesn't happen. Like we go, we fit in where we need to be, and we don't need to bring anybody else down. Like it's like you just walk and you do what you got to do. And if you have that mind state, you will always be that type of woman. It's not only some women that are like that. Like we can all be that way. So shout out to everyone, every woman that believes in that way of thinking, because it's the future and we need to start looking out for one another.
Female is definitely the future. And happy International Women's Day, which was last week, which we celebrated. And March is Women's Month. So definitely continuing the celebration of that. And it doesn't need to be the month. It just can be all year, every day. continuous and supportive of each other. But definitely fun having Tracy here with us. And now I'm back on my teen mom kick and watching.
You got to hit her up so you can chime in on the conversation.
Yes, I love some ratchet TV foolishness, and teen mom is interesting.
The OGs, though.
The OGs, because, it's interesting. It'd be like, if I was their age, I couldn't do it, and what they're at doing. And all of them have multiple children. I was like, nah, I can't keep up with that.
I mean, we grew up with them. Seriously.
Technically, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we were pretty young when they were. That's why the show was fascinating to us. Because it's like, damn, like this is very relatable. Because these are kind of situations of people that there's an age demographic that I can relate to. So we kind of grew up with them, and they created that trend of that reality thing big time for us. You know what I mean?
And I think what's interesting to watch about it is like different paths for everybody and different approaches to things for everyone. And it's like even with your own friends who do have children, those kind of things. Like what's intriguing about that show is everyone has. You're watching their path of how they're achieving things and doing things and pushing and striving, to even graduate and things like that. I have a friend who was a teen mom, and actually she just graduated this weekend.
Oh, shout out.
So shout outs to Lisa for graduation.
Congrats.
And she's been successful for a long time, but she's like, I'm going to continue on and, to strive for more degrees and continue my education nonstop. So, everyone has different paths, but teen mom OG is good to watch.
You know what's crazy? You know how you like now, more than before, we have more friends that are parents. And sometimes you kind of get shocked when, no offense to anyone, but sometimes when people aren't good parents and you're like, wow, like I'm seeing this firsthand. Like you are not, a good, no offense. You feel me? It's just like, I can't speak because I'm not a parent, but sometimes there's certain people that you're like, yo, I've been around parents and kids enough to know that you have absolutely no fucking patience. Like you are just like
no patience or don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know if you were not meant for it, but definitely don't know what they're doing. Sometimes is definitely a factor that happens when we're back.
Yeah. My dog had this squeaky toy that was just
no, you're fine.
Gonna destroy everything. But yes, now, aside from that, and no offense to anyone, guys, I'm not specifically mentioning anyone that I have a good relationship with as a parent. No, I mean, clearly we're adults and we know a lot of people in a lot of situations, coworkers, whatever. And like, you kind of can see when, they're not as interested as other people that have the same job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But that's comes with change and growth and things like that. So that happens. Well, we're going to get into we have one big story that we're going to discuss, and you guys chimed in on the conversation also. So we're going to talk about what happened at a DC radio station. Secondly, we'll talk about another topic that we had on Instagram as well. But first, I want to break down and have a conversation about what happened at this DC radio station. Radio personality Quicksilva and his co-host Danni Starr.
Quicksilva's a pretty cool name.
It is. And it sounds familiar, but I don't have...
I think it's a brand as well.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's where you're associated with. So in a recent broadcast, Danni Starr spoke about not hiring a woman who offered her nanny services. She was looking for a nanny. She posted it on social media. She let everyone know she was hiring. And she came on the show the next morning and told everyone, I declined this one woman who applied because she was attractive. And I didn't want to expose her to her man for temptation.
Okay.
The woman that she declined her services from or declined the application from is a model / singer, inspiring actress kind of deal. So Quicksilva, the next following day, on International Women's Day, let me be for sure.
And let me be specific.
Let me just be specific. It was the wrong day to fuck around with women.
I guess, yeah.
So that next day, he invited the model slash singer slash aspiring actress, Instagram model, whatever, to the show.
That wanted to be the nanny.
Okay. Invites her to the show to have a conversation. He says to have a conversation. Danni says that she was ambushed live on air.
I'm sure she was ambushed.
This was an ambush.
For ratings and shit, Like catch her off guard and let's make her
something like that. So the woman the aspiring model and nanny, whatever she is, says she was fully qualified for the position and says that she wasn't hired because of her looks and that Danni Starr is just a hater.
Oh, wow. She said that to her in person?
Like she said it to her.
Oh, my God. Okay.
So down the line, they're going back and forth. They're yelling at each other. And Danni says, I have the right not to have you in my household. I can have the right not to have whoever in my household. Also explained that she felt under attack and explained that her father had cheated on her mom with the babysitter, which I think it was just like something she was making up, like in the moment. I'll be honest. Not to say that she's lying. I'm just saying like it sounded like too simple, too easy to
it didn't sound natural.
Yeah, it didn't sound natural. She said her father cheated on her with her mom with the babysitter, and she was cheated on by her ex-husband as well. So that's what her, excuse is for that. So I see your face.
I mean, I'm not going to say that it's not fair to be I'm sure it doesn't feel good to be discriminated upon because of your appearance, regardless of what it is. In this particular situation, happens to be her looks, and she's attractive, and that's why she was discriminated upon. But it doesn't feel good for anyone to reject you based on your looks. Like, I totally get that. But this is a tough one because I'm not hiring a bad bitch to clean my house either. I'm gonna be real with you. Mm-hmm. I'm not. This is so crazy, like literally sidebar, like literally. I had this conversation with my boyfriend last week and I said, if we get a cleaning lady, she gonna be old, missing a few teeth, okay?
Una donita.
And she don't speak no English. Like this is the type of cleaning service I need because number one,
under the table cleaning service.
Clean, exactly. They clean very well. Yeah. Clean very well. This Cuban lady cleaned my new apartment, like as part of the management. That's what they do. They got to clean the apartment before they turn it in. Mm-hmm. But they have this older Cuban woman that comes to clean. And when I tell you that no one's ever cleaned my house in my life the way this woman cleaned my house, and she sat there and gave me a speech about how you got to use a trapo because mapos ain't the way it is. And you got to get a piedra. And with the piedra, you got to wipe down the top of the oven. I'm like, yo, I've never in my life had anyone break down cleaning like that to me. And my mom is a Latina. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is like very serious. So, and she was a very animated character, but she wasn't my boyfriend's type. You feel me? Like, mm-hmm. I'll be comfortable having her clean my house. And yeah, not to say that I don't trust him, but I'm not going to get a girl with a big old butt and a tiny waist that wears crop tops to come do the windows. You know what I'm saying?
Heavy makeup and yeah.
No, I mean, not.
It's, again, like Danni Starr said, it's her household and she doesn't need to really have, you can choose who you want in your household, just like that. You can choose those things. Now, I think, and that's a household perspective, right? Like what you want within your space, who you want to be surrounded by, those kind of things. I think that's understood.
Right.
I'm 100% with that. My question, though, is in the outside world, in the other aspects, like in the business world, in, networking, in any of those aspects, is there discrimination against pretty women as well? Or pretty people? It can be pretty men. There's gorgeous men out there who are pretty.
I think that, and this is not me even tooting my own horn, I can say this. I 100% believe that people don't include you in certain things because you may be pretty or you may be prettier than the one that's invited. And that, as simple as that may sound, like this is a person who's lived both sides because number one, I've been in a position where I've gained a lot of weight and I've been in a position when I've lost a lot of weight. Mm-hmm. And what I can tell you, I'm the best source of information because I know what it's like to be on the left where you don't get included because you're not perfect. And I also know what it is to be included on the right because you are the right look. And like, you know, people want to hang out with you because you can kind of be, you know, a good look. So it's like, I know how people are. And you start to realize that people are super superficial. Like people truly care a lot about how you look. And the reason I say that is because I lived it. There's people that I used to see even walking down the street when I was, let's say, way heavier, that didn't even open the door for me. And once I lost weight, they started saying good morning and waiting for me to walk through the door.
I've seen that same aspect. Yeah. Oh, I've been through that.
You like, feel me? Like
I've been through that.
Like this shit is so superficial out here. Like
exactly,
it's the way it is. So
I've experienced those same exact aspects of, especially with weight, related to the weight aspect,
absolutely,
of things, where you could see behaviors change and actions, and you'd be like, I get it, the ass is huge. But the girl got an attitude and will curse you out still, and was like still human at the end of the day.
Yeah,
and that is, and that's another thing where discrimination for weight and things like that, thinking you're unhealthy,
it's a huge thing.
Something negative about you. You're a terrible person. You don't know how to work hard. Like all those aspects go with that as well.
Correct. And I can tell you, I've never felt any bigger levels of discrimination from all the factors that could play against me from the cards that I've been dealt in my life. The worst level of discrimination I've ever felt in my life, ever. And treatment has been from being overweight. Period.
Yeah. I've had that
period.
Too. Yep.
So it's like, it's different from a girl coming from my perspective, because it's like, I know how vicious people can be. Yeah. However, I've also been the friend that doesn't get included to a whole bunch of shit because I may take away too much shine from you. I may be too vibrant. I don't want you to take the guy's attention because I know guys are going to like you. Like I've been that girl in a lot of situations, and it hurts your feelings. It's like, you know, I want to come to hang out with you. I'm not coming to like show off. Like I want to chill with you. You're my friend. You're my homegirl. I like being with you. Yeah. And it's like straight up, you find out, you know, female petty shit.
Yeah.
On the story, you're like, oh, that bitch went out. She didn't even tell me. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, petty shit. And it's like, you learn that, and it doesn't feel good. So I understand how it's not fair to like not like give a girl a chance because she's prettier than you. I think it is a little unfair.
Yeah. And I think that plays in pretty, personality, your, you know, how you present yourself and things like that really do have an impact on other people's opinion on you. Yeah. Right? You know, they say first impression is a big thing, you know, is like first impression matters. And so when a person walks around carrying themselves, you know, cleanly, I guess you can say, I don't even know like the proper word, but like, you know, you carry yourself with a lot, people just assume differently of you, right? That you think you're better than someone else, or you're super bougie, or like whatever. But like, no, I take care of myself. I enjoy these things. I have that. And I think that's another added factor as well when it comes to the discrimination, because people, it's the assumption. A question I posed is, do you think discrimination towards pretty women, because what happened in this conversation with Danni Starr and the model also said that she thinks Danni Starr is insecure.
First of all, bitch, why are you a nanny if you're a model? Okay, like pick a lane.
Because she don't got a model job.
Right, pick a lane, bitch.
She don't got a casting call.
300 likes on a picture on Instagram doesn't mean you're a fucking model.
You're an IG model, first
You're just a girl that has a lot of likes. Okay, IG models get paid for posts that they do, and they get paid for the brand that they're wearing. Like, that's not what she's doing, probably.
And if you don't have a brand on there, if you don't have a hashtag ad, if you don't have sponsored by on your IG, you're not a real model. I just want to share that.
So exactly. Just because you get in a lot of traffic, that shit doesn't do nothing for your bills. Nothing.
So do you think in discrimination towards pretty women, or pretty people in general, let's just generalize it to pretty people, have something to do with the insecurity of that person? Because, you know,
unfortunately, it may play a role, yeah.
You know, she says that her husband and her father have cheated on her before, or her ex-husband cheated on her before. So she insecure on that because of what occurred?
Is it insecure to be realistic? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that men shouldn't have self-control. I'm not saying that a man should not be able to walk away from temptation. I'm just saying that I don't even think that it's a good idea for you to have a cabana boy in your home that has a really great body if you're the type of husband that never comes home and like is out of shape. Like, you have to be realistic. Like, it's like, honestly speaking, who said that a woman wouldn't be tempted as well? Like, this is not only I hate that this is being like a woman thing. Like, no, it's not really a woman thing, because I know it's an anybody thing, because I know guys are just different about it. But if anyone who has a dude in their life has always had that moment where you could tell your dude don't like this nigga because he's cute. And you're like, wait, he'd be like, I am not going to be around this motherfucker no more.
What's amazing is when men notice other men, and like just notice other men who are actually like good looking men or like attractive men, and they'd be like, and you see the demeanor, not demeanor, depending on the person. But I've been around people whose demeanor have changed. Like, damn, that motherfucker is, what the hell is this? This motherfucker's handsome. Like, where'd he come from?
They'd be mad. Like,
they'd be like, what the hell? Or like, why didn't you tell me to dress up? This motherfucker showed up. Like, what is happening? So I have seen that happen before.
Yes.
And then I've seen where men become real defensive.
Yeah.
Because another guy who is a good looking guy has entered the room. And then there's
with money too. Guys like that with money.
That was how we're going, because the next step, the third option is he's not the greatest looking guy, but he has money that cleaned him up.
Yeah.
And it makes him look different and makes him different. Like, think about it. Jay-Z.
Guys be tight.
Jay-Z is not the cutest looking man, but you know what I find so handsome about him? Is how put together he is, that makes him and exudes something different. So that walks into a room, women sense it and feel it, and guys get upset.
Yeah.
Those are like the three things for men that'll really.
Yeah.
All right. They don't like, and it's like,
and I love it how they like low key start hating on shit that there's no reason for you to hate on that. Like, there's no reason for you to hate on the fact he's like, this nigga with his Yeezys and shit. I'm like, nigga, them shits is hot. Like, I really don't understand why anyone would get mad at someone wearing Yeezys. Yeah. Why would anyone get mad? Like, you're just hating right now. Like, you know,
there's a difference between, and then like, hating one thing, being insecure is another. Mm-hmm. There's two different factors of it. Hating is just like, you're like mad at yourself that you didn't get it or something, or like he got it before you, like you can't keep up kind of deal. Insecurity is when you really, truly deep within yourself have an issue and concern within your own thoughts.
I don't think it's fair for us now to use this very realistic situation that this radio personality shared. You know, the problem is that when you do these type of things, when you're an entertainer with your voice, you know, you start talking about your personal life, like it happens. So people start to get to know you. She probably made a mistake in sharing this, maybe. But I honestly think that a lot of people would have done the same thing she did. A lot. I mean, I think 90% of people would have done the same thing she did. But because this was on a public platform, you know, now she got to be all politically correct about shit. And I don't want to necessarily say that she's insecure now. Like, she's not a confident woman and she doesn't love herself because she doesn't want to hire an Instagram hoe. Like, I don't know if I necessarily want to say that. However, you know, mentioning the father cheating and whatever, maybe she should talk to somebody about those things. But I mean, I don't know. Things were so different back in the day. Like, people used to cheat so much on everybody. It's like most of us come from a culture that believes that men are more likely to cheat than women. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like we all have that still in us. It's changing. People are starting to,
It's starting to go both ways in that aspect. Well, I asked a question on Facebook in regards to this whole situation in this matter. And one of our listeners by the name of Joy replied back. She said, I wouldn't say it's insecurity. At the end of the day, you could have been on a diet, lose 50 pounds, and it's all about discipline. So not saying that men will fall for anything, but won't mean they won't choose a donut over a salad. So you know, she's saying I'm more likely to be caught up in an attractive person than an ugly one.
Yeah.
You put it in his face for temptation. You were not asking for a disaster. You never know. So thank you to Joy for replying to that. But that's true. Temptation is temptation. It's and it like depends on, she knows her man enough. I'm just saying she might know her man enough in her household that putting something like that.
But what does the girl look like? Is the girl the type of girl that she's like bikini ass out type? I don't know, man. That's hard.
I don't know. They don't have a picture of her, but another comment was her home, her man, her children, her preference. I don't see anything wrong with it. And they shouldn't have blindsided her, period, on the show.
Yeah.
So people agree with her reaction a lot. And definitely don't agree with the show bringing the other woman onto the platform. That
to just fuck with her.
I think so. That was just their thing for reaction, but wouldn't catch me.
I don't know. I know that my grandmother is 86 years old. So, she's been in the game way longer than any of us have. And she told me that, in Dominican Republic, for those of you who don't know, in Dominican Republic, people do hire people to clean the house and to do cooking. In certain situations is very common. Mm-hmm. And usually the girls that are hired are girls that, may need a little bit more financial assistance because they come from a poorer area of the island. So it kind of works as an opportunity for the girls to kind of get on their feet and then, eventually live in a better situation. Third world country stuff. What can I say? So my grandmother, when she married my grandfather, which was a very handsome man, he was like tall, like 6'3", he had like blue eyes, very beautiful man, cowboy type of dude. And as a gift, he actually got her a woman to come clean the house. So when she got home, the person that greeted her, she told me was a Dominican Indian, with her hair up to her butt. And gray eyes.
Wow. Wow.
And my grandmother said, I'm sorry, why are you here?
Wow. Because when you say that people with different color eyes sometimes.
Yeah, they hypnotize you.
Are hypnotizing? And I'm sorry, someone always taught me, be careful for those guys with light colored eyes.
Yeah.
Because those are the ones not to be around with.
Yeah.
So when you say something like that, be like, I'm sure it applies to the women as well.
I don't know. I've never met a person with light eyes that's not a flirt.
Well,
straight up. Straight up. Facts. And that goes for my girls too with the green eyes. All of y'all too. Because there's a bunch of Dominican girls with green eyes. So it's like, anyway, so my grandmother is like, what happened? Whatever. And then she's like, oh no, your husband hired me to clean and stuff. And then she was like, I apologize. My husband is confused. He doesn't make these kind of decisions in this house. You're going to have to leave. But thank you for your time. So then my grandfather trips and he's like, yo, what's wrong with you? Why are you being crazy? She's like, not in my house. You can look for bitches anywhere, but not in my house. And she was like, don't ever be stupid. Okay?
Your grandpa thought he was doing a good deed and failed. Why do men always think that the good deed, always the wrong thing to do, is always the good deed they're trying to do? Like they don't think it through. They just don't think it through.
They sometimes don't. I agree.
I think it's just like, no, this is wonderful. It'd be like, you're the dumbest person ever. I've seen it happen before. I've seen my mom be like, really? Like, take the shit back. And my dad, like, taking the shit back to the store. Or, like, myself or my sister taking shit back to the store. Because it was just dumb.
Yeah.
It was just dumb. That's funny. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Also, on IG, our friend Tracy replied in regards to the question of, do we believe in pretty discrimination? And she said, yes, 100% in both ways. I think sometimes they get more and sometimes they get less because of how they look.
Yeah.
And I have an example about the less option for pretty people.
Yes.
So my sister is a very pretty girl. And if you haven't seen her on my IG, she is. But she has had an opportunity, or she did have an opportunity to work with an actress, and through a mutual friend. So the mutual friend told the actor or actress told the actress, "Hey, I have a friend who's interested in working for you. Yeah, I know you have an opportunity for more interns, yada yada, whatever." And the actress said to the mutual friend, "Can I see a picture of her?" Asking to see a picture of my sister. And when she saw the picture of my sister, she said, "No, she's too pretty."
But what exactly was your sister going to do for her?
Working
why
side
would
by
that
side,
matter to her?
like assistant work, intern work, like side by side within like her circle.
Okay.
So like that is an example of like, you don't even know her work, her craft.
But that does that mean now that we have to be more tactful and like not post? Like we should have a professional way of posting, like a LinkedIn, basically. That's what I think the solution is. Does she have LinkedIn? Like that's what I'm saying.
She has all that stuff. But the friend showed her, I must have showed her IG or a picture.
Right. Because I'm trying to see how she can avoid, because that really sucks. And like how anyone can avoid, because at this point we need to come up with a solution. Because it's not fair that if you care about how you look, that you're not going to get jobs. You know what I mean? That's fucking crazy.
And it's not like my sister's pictures are suggestive in some sort of, or like no, like why would you, disrespectful stuff. It's just her portraits, and they're usually pretty cool. So the girl must have showed her just a picture of her. She could have showed her LinkedIn. I get it. Right? She could have said, "Here's her LinkedIn page, and here's the picture on her LinkedIn."
Right.
That would have been, because that's usually your professional picture that you put there. That's not your IG or your Facebook is more of a cleaner, probably. Right. And be like, "Here's her," like, something like that. But does this mean like the actress probably just didn't want the attention taken away from her in that setting?
I guess.
Right? She didn't want the attention taken away from her. I don't find it fair.
I think that it sucks, and I think it's such a real thing. And not only because this is happening to her right now, it's because I feel like this is gonna possibly happen again to her or to other people in situations like that. Like the funny thing is when I was at the dinner, what's her name? I can't remember her name, that she plays characters on the radio. She was saying that she actually got a really good opportunity because this guy that was a really popular radio personality at the time really liked her skit and said, "Hey, be a regular, come on." And, that's an awesome opportunity because somebody that's relevant invited you on their show. Who's not going to do it? You know what I'm saying? So she was all over. She was great. She had great energy with the guy. One day, the guy's fiance came to the studio and met her. And she's like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And she's like, "Oh, no, I work here with him and we do this and we do that." She said the next day they fired her. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Because the guy, his fiance said, "I don't want bitches in the studio with you. And I don't care."
Wow.
So, yeah. And so what I'm saying, it happens a lot, especially entertainment. Entertainment doesn't have a lot of rules that are like politically correct. So it's like a lot of stuff is personal because you have, you are your own business. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's tough. And like, I'm glad that we are talking about this in a way because I don't think anyone's given anyone a real answer on how to overcome this.
No. And that the other question I asked my sister was like, do you feel offended or do you feel kind of like
flattered?
Flattered?
Yeah.
And she said it's a little bit of both because it's discouraging for her because all she wants to do is work.
Right.
Like, it's not about it. Like, she's just like, I just want to work. Like, that's it.
Right.
And then at the same time, she's like, well, fuck it. Yeah, I know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a little bit mix of both. You're offended, but flattered, whatever.
I think I would be offended. And I can understand how she's offended because I've always been the type of woman that, and I know some people might think this is a good problem, but I feel like I attract a lot of sexual attention. And at times I don't like that because I've always wanted people to get to know me first.
Like you. Yes.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And like enjoy who I am versus, something physical. So it's like, it is a gift and a curse. Yes, it's nice for people to be attracted to you, but it doesn't feel good when it's totally based on how you look, especially when you have a brain. It's like, come on.
It's just like, I have so much to talk about, so much to say, but you're worried about one. Like,
yeah.
and you're trying to find someone like on your same level, your same page, and be like, can we talk, like conversation, something substantial. Yeah.
So I totally get it. And I really feel like examples like this is women not supporting women. This is an example of queens don't compete. Exactly. This is an example of fixing each other's crowns. This is an example of not allowing men to dictate how we feel about ourselves, because that 100% is that actress's issue with how men feel about her.
Yes.
That's what that is. Because at the end of the day, who cares what she looks like if you're an actress and your sister isn't? Like, she's not there to take a role from you. Like, she can't compete with you in your talent.
She's not an actual competition. She's no competition for you whatsoever. The person who gets to walk the red carpet is you, not my sister.
No, but it's two different fields of professionalism. Like, she cannot steal your... I understand not hiring a person that could be the demise of your career. I mean, I get that. You know what I mean? You gotta be smart too. But not like, her issue is how men are going to not look at her because they're, you know what I mean? Like, that's her issue. And we're giving too much power to the man. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that's really what matters.
It's as if the aspiring model, instead of being aspiring model actress, was aspiring radio personality, and Danni Starr and was inviting her at her house or something like that, right? Yeah. Like, she's a pretty girl aspiring to do your job, aspiring to be in your line. That might be a little bit like, that's a lot. Like, that's too close, right?
Yeah.
Or then you bring her to the radio station, and that's the job that she wants at the same time. That's competition within yourself. That might be a level of insecurity in another setting,
or strategy.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to be strategic when you're making certain moves. I get it.
So, pretty people, stand strong.
No, but it's true. And people don't like pretty girls immediately. Sometimes, she's conceited, or she's this, or she's just
ditzy, or she's dumb. Like, pretty girls get that also. That's the other thing. Like, people assume they don't know how to do their job. That was another comment that we had also, is, people think they don't know what they're doing.
It's like, you assume that the reason she's a boss is because she's pretty and someone gave her that. Not because she earned it, or because... Yeah.
Well, you ever seen... Sorry, but what's really disappointing is like a handsome guy or a good looking guy who's actually dumb, and you're just like, I can't. Like,
that happens a lot more than it should.
You'd be like, all right, just stand cute.
It happens a lot more. You know why? Especially, I mean, not to get into the whole problem with men today conversation, but I feel like, I don't know, the masculinity of men has been stripped in such a heavy way that with that, the requirement of being intelligent has also kind of gone down. I don't know.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, like right now our role reversals are shifting in a very rapid manner. And it's like we're kind of fucking men up along the way.
So like women are too strong?
Yeah.
You think like women are too strong? They're stay-at-home dads now. There's always, like stay-at-home dads.
That's progress. I'm not saying it's not.
That's what I'm saying.
But then again, I'm still from that culture that believes a man should be a income bringer. Is that bad? Am I not supposed to feel like that? Like, am I chauvinist? I don't know what this is. But it's
sometimes I be feeling like the chauvinist one when it comes to shit too. So I get it. Because you do, like, I think because we're so strong, we're such strong women, you want that other person to be just as strong or stronger.
Yeah.
Because
there's no excuse.
There's not, like, what are we doing? Like, come on. So I think for me, a person who is a little bit stronger than me is the perfect balance for me. Yeah, someone who can be like, sit down, and you'll be like, all right, let me sit.
Okay, Daddy.
Like, all right? Like, just like who can bring you down from your strength.
Yeah,
like a little bit, right? Like in the moments when you're just doing too much, you're too far, you're going fast, and that person just be like, stop and grind. And like,
for sure.
Like,
peace.
Let me take it. Yeah, like relax.
It's peace. This is truly what it is. It's called peace. For those of you who are struggling with determining whether or not you're in a good relationship, if you do not feel peace, I do not think that's a good relationship.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah. Peace
Definitely
is
not.
important.
Well, to wrap up the conversation of pretty discrimination, I think we had a great discussion.
For
and
sure.
know that it is across the board for both women and men.
Yeah, for sure.
It is an existing problem, just in a lot of things in different workplaces and different spaces. But we just got to be a little bit more open and give people opportunity and chances. And that goes for anyone, whether they're gay or lesbian, pretty, ugly. Even ugly people get discriminated. We've talked about, heavy, overweight or, skinny and those kind of things, and how that happens. So we just got to give everyone a chance. You just got to put people out there, see what their skill sets are first, and then determine if they're good or not or meant for the job.
This is called pretty shaming?
Pretty shaming, pretty discrimination.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. These millennials, or us millennials, we be coming up with a lot of shit.
I know. And I mean, honestly, I think it's going to be like this for a little while. I don't think this is going to change anytime soon, but I think that eventually we need to start feeling a little bit better about being okay, being around women that are not
regular, typical women. Yeah.
Like you have to be okay with being with above average women around you. Like it should be okay for you, Yeah.
Yep. And also last week, we're going to do a little mini segment added to here. We had a second question throughout the week on Wednesday. Just a random thought that I was having and listening to a conversation. So how long should someone wait before dating a friend's ex?
That's a messy question for sure. And I don't know. I hate these kind of questions because I feel like these should not be options in people's lives, but they are. But they really are.
Shit happens.
Shit does happen.
Shit happens. I think that's, you don't expect sometimes to find someone, or what if this was like 10 years in between the time that person was dating? Like, should you feel awkward? Like, there's all these other aspects and things happening that, in my opinion, it all depends of when their previous relationship occurred. When did this relationship happen?
Right. So, like, if they used to date in high school and were grown adults, like, that should not be a problem. That shit is
non-existent.
Like, that's stupid. Even... Let it go. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Be an adult about this.
Yes. I would say that. However, this is a tricky one. What kind of an ex is this ex? Is this the ex that you had 2 kids with and he broke your heart and you've never loved again? No, don't ever date him, my friends. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, or is this an ex that it was the summer and I was, living in Jersey for 2 months because I had a job up there. Like, what kind of an ex is this?
Yeah. A lot of our responses were never, ever. If they were serious, I guess depending how serious, it's a never. And if it was a fling, like you say, and the friend doesn't have feelings about them, give her blessings and let it be gone. Whatever, give blessings. Some people say there's no need to wait. It should never happen. Never cross your mind. Loyalty. I think that's pretty strong.
I have a question, and we're going to ask this question next. And we're going to put it on our IG.
Mm-hmm.
Should exes go to each other's weddings?
Oh, note that one down. That's a little tough.
Yeah. What do you think?
Depends. Depends, because if your ex and let's say my husband to be, obviously, and ex have a child together, I would love the child to be present. And depending on their relationship, the mom can be present as well. Because it's their child, right? Their child's going to be in the wedding. If it's just an ex, depending how long they were together, like my heart changed, my beat, like a little nerves, because I don't want to say I would never do that, because it all depends on that relationship that it was before.
Right.
Right. Like it all just depends on, what that was.
I mean, this is how I see it. It's tough because, Yeah.
Wait, that just reminds me of my Uber driver and his story.
What do you mean?
Oh my God. You know how Uber drivers start talking when you get in the car and you're just like, some days you're in it and some days you're not.
Some days you're like, please stop talking. Please. Where are my headphones?
My Uber driver decided he was going to tell me about all the other rides he had the night before. He said he picked up a girl who was crying and he was like, she was just bawling and crying. Come to find out, she just left a wedding.
Her own wedding?
No, her ex's wedding.
Oh, wow.
And her friend married her ex.
Oh my God.
And
yikes.
Because she was saying that the family of her ex, the guy getting married, the dad picked up the microphone and was like, she's, so-and-so's the greatest thing that ever happened to him. And that made her cry because obviously she thought she was the greatest thing that happened.
Wow.
And she used to be with the family and hang out, whatever. I don't know if the girl was her friend, whatever. But that reminds me, I was like, why would she go if she had feelings still that heavy?
Yeah.
And
True.
that if you still, as an ex, let's say you get invited, if you have feelings, you should not be going. You should take yourself out of that.
This is the thing with me. I don't really have a relationship with people that I was truly in love with in the past. Like, I don't talk and hang out with these people. Like, those are people that it was just too hard to be friends with because it's like, it was too
didn't
real.
Work for a reason.
Yeah. You're right. It was too real. Like, what I felt for you was too much for me to ever just hang out with you. You know what I mean? Like, no way. And plus, you got to let shit go. So it's like, you can't be like talking to people like that. So I guess since those people would not invite me anyway, because we have no level of communication, like that would make no sense. But like those casual exes that were like not anything that changed your life, but it was a positive experience. So you two don't hate each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it would kind of be like nice to see them happy. Like, if they invited me, I'm not saying I would necessarily spend money, but if it's like local and I'm able to go, I would support and say, I'm really happy for you because I'm so detached from that relationship that I look at that person like an old friend.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's different than like the guy that you've never stopped loving. Like, I don't know.
That's painful, first of all. If it's the person you've never stopped loving.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that's a little bit much. I think it's about the feelings. It's about where you are in a place. So if it's a friend, a person, an ex who was nothing, who ended up more of a friend than a boyfriend, then why not?
Yeah, but I don't think that they should hang out. Does that make sense? Like, for example, like if let's say right now, I mean, I really hope I'm not shooting myself in the foot right now, but like, let's say that, like, how sometimes people dated someone in college, and like, it was fun and it was maybe a semester or two and that person they're still cool, especially that age bracket. Like, you could still be friends with a person after fucking them. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just like, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like they were cool. They hung out. They know each other's whatever. And like then that person may get invited to a wedding. That kind of friend gets invited to weddings. Like the people that you were really cool with in college that you don't see every day, but they get an invite to the wedding.
Yeah.
So would it bother me if I knew that person was coming to my wedding and it was like I mean, I guess it wouldn't. But it's not like it's not like I want him to hang out with her. Does that make sense? Like, yes, she can come to the wedding, but like you can't go visit her.
Yeah. Well, why would not?
Because he used to fuck her. Like, I don't care. I don't want you to be around someone who used to fuck like that.
No. If he goes by himself to go visit her, that's a no.
Yeah, that's
what
I'm saying.
You guys together go visit, like you're going into town or wherever.
Yeah, we could do lunch.
You both go visit. Yes,
lunch and
that's
shit.
Separate. Oh no, him visiting her by himself is a no. I had to make sure. I had to make sure. I had it right. No. Him visiting her separately is a no. Her coming to visit y'all is a yes.
In a public setting, for sure.
Going to visit her is a yes.
In a public setting.
But not separately, individually by themselves.
Yeah.
I think so. That's just, it should be like you should be around with your
person,
your person, your significant other in that situation because you want them to get along and get together, like that kind of thing. But we will definitely post that question on IG this week.
Why we would love to hear this, and I would love
hear the reaction.
People to confess how many of your ex's weddings have you been to?
Oh,
real shit.
Man, if you've been to more than 5, just don't. Because that's another level.
You
of
have
things.
not been chosen once.
No, that's like being the bridesmaid like 7 times.
Yeah, but going to 5 exes' weddings is kind of steep.
Yeah, I'd be like, I would, yeah. But this was great. Great discussion.
Oh, show.
Great discussion. Again, if you want to follow us on Instagram, find us on Messy Mondays Pod on Instagram. On Twitter, Messy Mondays Podcast. And on YouTube, type in Messy Mondays Podcast and it'll come up. And we're on all platforms. And make sure to follow us, comment on SoundCloud, like us on SoundCloud, and send us your stories at messymondayspod@gmail.com. Anything in the works happening for you? Show me.
Yes, I want to make sure to mention something. Thank you for letting everybody know they need to follow us. Super important. But in the spirit of Women's History Month and making sure to empower one another, I actually will be hosting a panel interview at the WeWorks building in Miami. I'll be posting some information about that later on. It's through the company that I actually work with. The actual event is going to be called She Means Business, and this is available on Eventbrite. It's for women in business. It's an insight and networking speaking series, and hopefully we can all start a new networking group that's called #She Means Business. So, all powerful women that I love and that I want to create a network and a entity within ourselves to have people that we rely on that are all females, that are our go-to people in different states. We want to start expanding that. So I wanted to make sure to tell all the ladies that follow the podcast, that, when we start posting anything that says She Means Business, if you're a business owner, entrepreneur, a female just doing her thing, just share with us what you do, because I think it's important for us to support one another. And as we stated earlier, fix each other's crowns. So beyond whatever we do here on a weekly basis, we have since day one always supported the empowerment of women. So we want to continue on that trend. And our voices are part of this new path that we're all trying to reach, where we are as equal as men are.
True. I love it. I love that hashtag.
Isn't it awesome? Yeah,
I
She
love
Means
it.
Business. So definitely, I'll keep posting, and then hopefully you guys can join us.
I love it. And also, Seattle, spring is coming. I went and hung out under the cherry blossoms yesterday with some friends, and the sun was beaming on us. It was a nice 67. So it was perfect. And you still feel the heat of the sun, but it was cool. And the nice cherry blossoms. So that means spring is finally fucking coming. My first official winter throughout the whole time. And it is serious. Or my second winter, whatever. But because the spring is coming and I'm feeling the energy of the sun, be on the lookout for a mid-year vision board party sometime in the summer. I'll keep you guys updated. Mm-hmm. Hopefully Show Me will be here in the wonderful Seattle with that 7-hour
we might even do a little shindig with She Means Business.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And we meet some powerful women out there in Seattle. Why not?
Definitely. So be on the lookouts for that. And I think those are all of our announcements.
Yes, that's it. And just follow, share your stories.
And if you got Beyonce tickets, please. Somebody. She ain't coming to Seattle. She going to Vancouver. So I got to go to Canada.
Ooh.
Which sounds kind of dope though, right?
Yeah, I think Canada's a nice place. When I've been, it's been nice.
So we'll see. But yes, make sure to follow us. You were saying?
No, that was it. I was going to say follow us. Follow me at SHOMI_ENC. Shout out to everybody who posts, reposts. Please keep sharing all of our stuff. We really appreciate it. And it's Messy Mondays. Messy Mondays. Your girl Show Me. Your girl Marley Marr. Messy Mondays.